Here we are for the reading for those of you who picked group number 2, and oh my goodness, the cards that we have here. I will tell you what, this is an interesting one. From the Earthbound Oracle, we have Abundance, and from the deck of the Bastard, we have the Devil and the King of Swords. There's this sentiment that I've seen people talk about in sort of witchy circles, self-discovery type circles, that the dominant culture that we live in, especially within the system of capitalism, is very much designed to make us feel that we do not have enough, that we are not enough, because those feelings of lack, which are counter to what is our natural state of abundance, those feelings of lack are often what trigger us to buy things and to seek fulfillment from outside sources, from material sources. And that kind of ties into the message of the devil as well, because there is often this sense with the devil of looking for meaning within things that are not really meaningful when you dig beneath the surface. Sometimes the devil has messages of falling into materialism, looking for some sense of purpose and some sense of abundance from those things that actually are just fleeting and can't really fulfill that need within us. As with many things, it feels like the first step with this is simply bringing ourselves to a state of awareness, especially when you find yourself feeling that sense of lack and buying into these systems that would have you believe that you need to purchase something, or you need to, fall in line with the latest trends or live the way that, society tells you to live. When you find yourself starting to believe those things, which a lot of us do, right? Even those of us that consider ourselves very countercultural and very self-aware sometimes have those moments where we fall into this false sense of hyper-consumerism, or whatever you want to call it. So again, the first step is just having awareness when you find yourself falling into that state. At its best, the approach of the King of Swords is very measured. And so I think the King of Swords here is an invitation to be in that state of awareness, be able to observe ourselves, be able to observe the systems that we currently exist within, and to have that sense of cognitive distance, not in a way that we're removing ourselves from our direct experience of life, but in the way that we're able to watch the patterns of the world around us and also watch the patterns of our inner world, and create some type of narrative out of those and find a way to understand those more deeply, instead of just getting swept up into things that actually don't really give us what we're actually seeking. Maybe one of the more direct pieces of advice we can take from the King of Swords is to ask questions of yourself when you feel a sense of lack in some way, to question and ask, is buying a product, or is, buying into any type of belief system going to connect me with a sense of abundance? Is it really going to do that for me? Or is it just a distraction on some level? The King of Swords reminds you that you have this capability to question things, to go beyond the surface, and to make sure that your behavior is coming from a place of consciousness, not just a place of autopilot, which could be part of more of that energy of the devil, but really from a place of deciding how you want to live your life and deciding for yourself what it is that brings you closer to your natural state of abundance versus what takes you farther apart from that. No one else can answer that question for you. You get to answer for yourself what ways of living, what belief systems, and what actions affirm your inner state of abundance. So that is what I have for you. I feel like it got a little bit rambly, so I hope something in there makes sense. We'll give you some things to consider. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, getting a reading that is more contextualized for your specific circumstances, you can reach me on my website at carriemallon.com, and I would love to connect with you in that way. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you again soon.